Hey girl, hey. Hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to take a moment and kind of reflect. I haven't really done too many steps. Well, I feel like I have a reprieve from the powers that be because my road is being worked on today. So walking the dogs and walking myself is going to be a bit impossible between like the, equipment. And also because I ran a 5K on Saturday and I still feel like I was hit by a car. Oh my gosh, nothing reminds you of legs quite like a 5K and stairs. So I'm taking it a little easy, a little R&R, never, no rest for the wicked. But but I just wanted to take a minute and reflect on just in the last 10 days till I drew a line in the sand and said no motherfucking mas in my life. Like no mas. It is mine. Reclaiming my time. Good Lord. Above reclaiming my time. So in Just God, I think I've been filming 10 days, 2 weeks at this point, 10 days or 2 weeks at this point. I don't even know. I should look. I should be more mindful about that. But honestly, I film and I cut it loose, and it's done. And then it's just forward, ever forward. Staying in the present. Like that's what I'm trying to do. So I do the things and then let them go. Do the things, let them go. And then it's just, I'm in that moment is where I'm trying to be. Enjoying this natural lighting today. Oh my gosh, I got these microphones that I'll have to show you because they're hilarious. They are hilarious. But anyway, I wanted to take a moment. I don't want to ramble too much. What I really wanted to do in these last 10 days, 2 weeks is model what it's like to take your life back and make it your own. It is not easy. It is fraught with peril at times because, I'm asserting my boundaries now for the first time and I'm not always going to get it right. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I come at shit and I'm like real angry still. And as I have a right to be. So it is a fine line between, I am asserting my boundaries, but I am hoping that as time goes on, I'll be able to do it, in a way that's perhaps not so cutting. That's not so cutting because I'm fierce as fuck. Don't get me wrong. And I swear to God, like I'll fucking slash your tires. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, ooey gooey kindness, positive vibes only kind of bullshit. But I do want to live in kindness and in wholeness. And so for me, that means, not always knee-jerk responding out of like past triggers and past anger. So that's something I'm still working on. But you want to know what else I'm still working on? And this is where it's at for me. I have my bomb-ass job. It's mine. It's mine. I got my job. Right? Through my skills and what I bring to the table. I'm doubling back. I think I told y'all I wrote some books, picture books, just to do something during the pandemic when it was like full lockdown and it was out to drink myself to death. So I put a little picture book together to kind of keep me busy. And I wanted to leave something in the world for my son. So I made the two little love notes to Ralph and, our luscious Ginger. And so when I did, I took on this strong brand social marketing course and of course never finished it, So I'm doubling back and doing my strong brand social marketing class that I paid for. And I am doing my Upstate Founders Clarkson University coursework so that, in a few months, I am going to be micro-credentialed as in entrepreneurial studies, right? And then if that weren't epic enough, I'm rocking this job, rocking some more courses. I think I told you that I did the 3 courses for Mel Robbins, right? Take Control. And y'all, I signed up for her launch. Yes, I did. And today was the first day, first video. Filled out the first few pages of the worksheet, did all my check-ins, and I am set, sorted, done, boom. Now I RSVP'd for her live chat today, but I can't do it because, I have another call. I mean, it's during kind of the work days. So, but they'll send out, a live recording or the recording of the live thing. So I'll be able to see that later. But, so then I'm doing this 6 months launch program as well as pursuing these other businesses. I have these other irons in the fire, and I'm just on some fallback, and I'm watching and I'm looking and I'm talking to people and I'm playing my position. And, I just had to stop and think to myself, my mother, I think I mentioned to you, my mother died of ALS. She basically, decayed from an upright position. And some might argue that ALS, is related to some of these things, related to dis-ease, it's worthlessness, self-esteem. Cancers get trapped in our pain bodies from trauma and I definitely believe that there are physical manifestations of trauma, 100%, 100%. What we label them, I don't know. Was it self-esteem issues? I don't know. But what I do know is some of the few times my mother ever really got real with me, I didn't even realize, I didn't even know her favorite flower was a sunflower until she died. She was very enmeshed with my younger sister. I'm not going to get too much into all that noise because that's past. But what I'm thinking to myself is my ancestors have kept me very strong. And I've always felt my ancestors were like my great-grandmother and my grandmother, right? Who were nasty, from what I understood, nasty, horrible bitches. Who created a woman who would turn out to be, a mother. And I remember talking to her once, and she had all of these holes poked through her traumas in her life, as did my father. I have done my work to release them from paying their traumas forward. They did the best they could. It doesn't mean it wasn't still less than what it could have been, but I think they loved me and I think they did the best they could, But I believe my ancestors go back much, much further. But at any rate, I can't help but wonder. My mother and I had this brief conversation many moons ago. And it was just in passing and fleeting. And I don't even remember what the context was or what we were talking about. Through this, launch program, I know very much I am the quintessential box jumper. I can see an idea. Boom, I'm your ideas guy. I'm your ideas gal. One after the other. Boom, 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 boom. And they're all accomplishable. I just don't know how to fucking get there. I don't know how to get all the way over there, but I do know I can take that leap of faith and I can make it happen. And if you know me, you know that's true. If you've even known me for 5 minutes, you know that my life operates in dog years and I do the craziest shit. And it's such an adventure and I love it. But I remember talking to my mom, and the takeaway of that conversation was to, verbatim that she never discovered what her passions were. She never knew. She was 21 when she, kind of fell in love with the bad boy and made a series of terrible life choices after that. 2 children from the one, another one from the other, and then married a 3rd time to a toxic, malignant narcissist who walked into our lives when I was about 14. And so I think she spent the majority of her life trying to be the best mother that she could. And, I have one child. I can't imagine three, let alone three girls or whatever, kind of all of that, So she was buried under the weight of motherhood. And then factor in toxic, loveless marriages where she's either cheated on or betrayed, or there's this, or. That this marriage is not a refuge ever. Ever. It is not a place where you can go to feel safe, seen, value, heard. Hello, I am in one currently. Right? So I wonder, when I look back at the women in my ancestry, on my dad's side too, so soon we are forced into marriage. At least they were, right? I chose this shit show. Forced into marriage, forced into motherhood, right? Their lights dimmed as quickly as possible. Their voices silenced. They die not knowing. They live and die not knowing what their passion is, who they are, what turns them on, what sets their world on fire, what dreams and passions and goals would they like to pursue in their lifetime. And when you can think about the level of trauma that's passed down to that end, where these women have lived and died not knowing who they were or being empowered, having that empowerment, being empowered, having a society, a culture, a political system. Shit, they couldn't even have credit cards or their own property, right? To be able to pursue their passions. They are married into slavery and indentured servitude. And then they die. And so I've been reflecting on this quite often. I lay awake at night thinking about it. Actually, I'm getting better at sleeping. There seems to be a correlation. But I did, and I do, think about this on the regular, about what a gift it is, what a tremendous gift it is for me to sit here in this chair, take a few minutes, record myself, go access technology, go walk past my husband and say, I am doing this thing. I am speaking my mind. I am speaking my truth. I'm taking these classes. I'm going to find out who I am. I'm going to open these businesses. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I am going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. I will no longer be buried under the weight of this marriage. I will no longer be buried under the weight of what it means to be a mother that just gives and gives and gives and gives until there's nothing left. I am not going to live my life pouring from an empty cup. And I can't even tell you what a blessing. It chokes me up. It chokes me up. What a blessing and an honor it is that I can take my warrior heart and I can pour it back into the world and I can show anybody, like women, these kids coming up already in toxic relationships, that no, stop, there's another way. It doesn't have to be like that. And I might not always know the right things to say, and I might come with a bit of an edge, and yeah, fuck, I do. Yeah, I do. And I've earned every single fucking slice of it. I have. I've come by it all honestly. But in my heart, to be able to sit with my ancestors from the Pennsylvania Dutch. I mean, I am 100% purebred. I'm 57. Like, yes. From my Slavic sisters, my Pennsylvania Dutch sisters. Yeah, Eastern European, I don't know. There's so much like German, like it's all gobbledygook. I should probably do like a 23andMe situation to see what variety of fucking crazy I am. But at any rate, to be able to sit with my sisters, my ancestors, and stick up for myself and speak my truth and take my classes and spend this second half of my life figuring out who I am as I am, not defined through motherhood, not defined through a marriage, who I am standing here as this powerful, self-assured woman. And know that it came on their backs and that I am finally here. And when I speak up for myself and I stand up for myself, I am speaking up for and standing up for all of the women that have come for me and come before me and all of the women who will come after me. And I will show and I will light the fucking torch and I will light that path. And I will say, you do not have to be swallowed whole by the darkness in your life. Like you are sold this dream of what it would be to be a wife and a mother, and then you disappear. And I'm not saying there isn't something to be said for being a wife and a mother. And look, if y'all stay home and you love it and you want to, you are completely content to, cut peanut butter and jellies into smiley faces before the kids go to school, and that's your jam. And you're that Insta mom with all the crafts and, more power to you, sister. More power to you. I'm not putting anybody fucking down. What I'm saying is, if you're the kind of mom like me, who there's something more for you, that being defined as a wife and a mother just isn't enough. Or all y'all moms out there snorting your kids fucking Ritalin because you think you got to keep up with the fucking Insta mom, and instead of just keeping it real for yourself, and you're like depressed and like, I can't even tell you, like, what are you drinking yourself to death in the fucking laundry room while you're crying into the dirty laundry? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. I've fucking been there. And I am here to say no mas. I am here to inspire, and I am here to honor those that came before me, to honor those that will come after me, and to honor myself for being here in this moment, still fighting for freedom, still fighting for the right to have rights, still fighting to be heard as a woman. Watching these kids, these girls coming up and don't know shit about shit. And they're already each other's competition. And they're already vying and jockeying for the approval of a man. A toxic ass man, of course. And there they are already. And it's like in elementary school. So I'm just here, just taking a moment to honor my part of my journey because it's so important. I did not get here in a vacuum. And I am not alone, and neither are you, and that's all I wanted to jump in here and say in this moment. I gotta go. I gotta keep going, be my badass, boss ass self. And I just want to wish you all the love, all the happiness, all the inspiration, all the magic your heart can hold, because there's so much room. There's so much room. It's a muscle and it can stretch. And I want to stretch that. I want to stretch it until it could burst. So I just want to let you know, once again, I see you, I feel you, I hear you. I'm here with you. I've been in the trenches too, and we can do this, and we can inspire each other, and we can do this damn thing, because it is time. Divine feminine rising. I don't know what you want to call it, but shit. Anybody that wants to keep women silent have forgotten Freya, who is the first to choose who goes to Valhalla, right? So don't forget your warriors. Do not forget your goddesses. Do not forget your ancestors are rooting for you. And so am I. Peace and love, sister. Peace and love.